Oh,
Rob has been asking us to go to the Holiday Express, and I'm like, fine if we just stay at the hotel we were at.
yeah.
Don't have
The zombies are coming.
Calendar starts with the letter C. Well, there was Big Rob saying he feels horrible. He's going to take the day off.
Holy crap!
Woke up feeling bad.
You are creepy as shit.
The zombies are coming. The zombies are coming.
Let's go live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. This is normally our Sunday D&D fun stuff, but today we have a special announcement. Something I've been working on for a year and a half. But before we get to that, we were supposed to have our friends from the Rocketeer Society today. They are not feeling well, so hopefully they get well soon. I need to put these headphones on so I can hear everybody.
The zombies
Yes,
are coming.
Yeah, get better soon for
Yeah,
sure.
get well soon. Sucks getting ill, and it's going around. It's that time of year where the weather will
Yep.
get nice and then it'll get shitty and you're gonna feel like shit. Yeah. Especially this week. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, they're talking we went from like almost 50s down to the 30s, and then like this whole week's supposed to be rain and cold and shitty and possible snow, and I'm like, fucking March.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom and wife were talking about, oh, it's spring, we're gonna start planting. I'm like, y'all are stupid. You've been in Missouri your entire lives. If you think that this is the end of winter, you're a fool.
I say don't start your seedlings and don't plan on spring until after St. Patrick's Day. Okay. And I have 100 years of experience on the
Right.
weather of St. Patrick's Day can go from beautiful to my God, I fucking hate life.
Yeah. And that's
So
why we drink on St. Patty's Day.
that's why you Americans drink on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's what I meant. It was the royal we. It was.
it.
Um, Before we do get into everything, before we do play, as always, we don't talk about politics or religion on the streams, be it the video game streams or this stream. We try to stay away from that. It's too much of a decisive thing. It can cause rifts. It can cause, derailment of the stream, of the game, of everything. But as I said on my last game stream, and I'm going to say it again, the world is fucked right now. And if it is bringing you down, if you are having problems, please reach out to your friends, your family, to a counselor. There are various numbers you can call. I have them on many of my social networks. You can find those numbers. Reach out and speak to someone to help get through these hard times. Okay. That's about all I got on that.
Yeah, and it's okay to take a break. You don't have to dwell on that shit all the time. You can go play D&D with your friends, go read a book, like get out of the planet Earth for a couple minutes. It's amazing what it'll do for your brain.
That is the great thing about video games and about tabletop games. It is a chance to escape all this bullshit, release any anger or pain that you are feeling without causing harm. So I highly recommend finding an outlet that is positive. I've been playing Sniper Elite like four,
I was gonna
five,
say,
and Resistance. I've been having a good time.
find
Testicle
a game where
shots
you can
right and
shoot
left.
zombie Nazis in the head. It's
Zombie
totally
Army Trilogy
cathartic.
or Zombie Army 4.
There you go.
Or, me and Shay have been playing a lot of Killing Floor, so, it's a lot of fun. But no, I'm serious. Before you make a decision that takes you out of the world, don't opt out, opt into looking. There's always someone to talk to. Hell, you can always hit me up on Discord. I do suck at responding on Discord, but you can hit me up on Discord or Facebook or Twitter or Bluesky or even here on Twitch and, be like, hey, I need someone to talk to. I'm always here for you. Okay. Because I've been down that road. All of us have. So I want to make sure, again, like I said, we're not going to get into the reasons why the world is fucked, but the world is fucked.
Yep.
And it's time to band together and be supportive of each other. So, and that being said, let's get into the huge announcement. So, about a year and a half ago, while we were doing our D&D game and watching Critical Role and watching Roll D20 and a bunch of other people, and then going to Gen Con and seeing all the great tabletop games out there and stuff, I got the great idea of let's make our own tabletop game. And I've been slowly working in this rotten corpse of mine, the groundwork for this game, and it's not fully there. This is very early development. And you were going to see Shebe and Az, and Big Rob, D at some point, and maybe others jumping in as my test subjects as we test this game. By the end of the year, hi Hemi. By the end of the year, I hope to have the website and the GoFundMe set up. Well, I don't know if I'm going to do GoFundMe or if I'm going to do some kind of crowd fundraising. But we are going to set up to get this. Your phone slide. There you go. Sorry, distractions. We're going to be setting up a website that's going to have all the information about the game. And then we're going to have crowdfunding where you are going to be able to help us raise the money to get this game off of the perpetual drawing board it is to your actual tabletop. And there will be chances for you, my viewers, to be part of the creative team, be through input, table testing with us online, and crowdfunding. There will be goals that are going to give you certain rewards, all of that fun stuff. So we are going to today. We're not playing full campaign type thing. I had 5 scenarios set up, but since unfortunately Big Rob is ill, I'm going to drop that down to 3 scenarios. It's just going to kind of showcase some of what we're at on what your characters can do as we kind of explain how this game is. Because this game is a steampunk horror type game, all right? You are set in a fictional alternate Earth where there are lots of changes, and you will get that lore and stuff on the website through the books and everything. We're not going into it today. But technology-wise, they've made it to about the steampunk era, but there is the supernatural world around you. So there are ghosts, redcaps, demons, all those things. The whole point of the game basically is for you and your friends to have fun. And that could be maybe your storyteller decides that, hey, we're going to do a great heist for a relic that has supernatural powers, or we're going to assassinate a leader. You can set up all these complex scenarios, stories. You can make a long arcing campaign just like D&D, just like Vampire, all of that. It will be something that, you and your storyteller and all that will creatively continually making yourselves and have more fun, because that is the only limit of this game ever, is what you guys limit yourselves to. That being said, there is one limit. There are no races in this game. You are a human. And with that, you have human strengths and weaknesses. And that's something my players here that are with us today, Shebe and Az, they rolled their characters with a really rough character system I've set out. And one thing that they didn't get to do yet, because I haven't finished it, is something I'm going to be implementing where it's going to be traits. Your character will have 2 positive traits and 1 negative trait. Okay, so thinking along the lines of positive trait, you could be able to like photographic memory. You can have a photographic memory type thing if you're a person who wants to be like a reader. But you would then have like you could pick a negative trait of like brittle bones, which doesn't mean your bones are like Mr. Glass from that one show, but you are not a fighter. You're more of an intellectual. So you can pick and mix and match them any way you want to create your character. That goes the same with we are using a skill system. That skill system is going to be very in depth and it allows you to customize your character because there's no race, there is no class. You make you. Whatever you want your character to be is what your character is going to be in this game. So we will not be going into the traits system today because, like I said, that's something I was working on after we rolled these characters, and I haven't fleshed it out enough that I feel comfortable. The skill system is very rough, so our players do have characters that are rolled, um, and they have their basic stats, which even when we were rolling, we discussed that they're going to change, and we made changes while we were rolling the characters. My handy dandy purple notebook has all the infos in it. I'm going to need like 50 more of these before the end of the year.
Yeah, I bought a new notebook too. Like, this is getting out of control.
Oh, I have piles of notebooks in there for DMing. I'm just like, this one here, though, I specifically bought it for the purpose of writing this game. And I'm like, I left-handed, so I write backwards in my notebook. So here's how most you people would open a notebook. Oh, look, it's blank. Flip it over to where it's actually backwards. That's where all my text is because I'm left-handed, so I hate notebooks. All right, well, before I turn the camera on here and draw the scenario, why don't you two kind of give us a rough telling of what your character kind of is, who they are. And remember, these characters, they're going to be adapting and evolving as we work on this game. Okay? So, what you hear today for either of these two characters, you might hear like a month later something that completely contradicts what they said about this character. Yeah, it's because maybe we scrapped that whole thing and we decided to pull something in that made it play better, made it feel better. Or maybe we were like, hey, we don't like that. That's just junk. And we just got rid of it and didn't bring anything in for it. We're just like, we threw that in the trash. Okay. So I'll let you two decide who's going to go first. I'm going to start doodling with my handy dandy markers and show you guys your first scenario here.
Did you want to go first, Gas?
I can. So my character is named Orlando. Um, some people call him Orlando the Axe. He, if he had a character archetype, it'd be a witch hunter, but his background is actually he was a witch hunter's apprentice, kind of like a knight's squire. So he followed an ordained church-supported witch hunter to root out evil and mysterious magics and whatnot. And he was kind of one of those cliche like asshole witch hunters. So he killed a lot of innocent people to root out evil, and he didn't always get it right. And he set fire to lots of stuff that he didn't need to, and um, he just wasn't a very well liked dude. Um, During one of those uh, investigations, Orlando came back to find the OG witch hunter had been um, killed in a very sacrificial way with runes and magics. And since then, he's kind of picked up the helm, so to speak, and started doing his own witch hunting, but doing it in a much more intelligent way. So statistically, my character is very weak, pretty middling strength and constitution rolls. I rolled an amazing 7 health points, so he's not real big into getting hit by anything, but he's got above average intelligence, wisdom, and dexterity. So I kind of made it. That's kind of why I had him go on the side of the witch hunter's apprentice. Like he's used to just following this big dude around, kind of
Taking the
keeping an eye
notes.
out for danger. Kind of, yeah, like he's just been the number 2 guy for a long time.
So
And
Chaz
now
from
one
Constantine.
guy, but he's exactly 100%. Except for I only rolled 11 charisma, so I don't get the Sheila Booth charisma roll, but
Running for your
pretty much
life,
everything
Shia
else
LaBeouf.
is dead on. Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's the short and ugly on Orlando the Witch Hunter.
Right.
Still working on a name. Right, guys. I am male. Librarian / historian. For politics and for religion, I just like to learn about everything and anything. Zombie hasn't really gotten into it, but the continent, different areas have different lore. So historian and a librarian, and I like to learn all of that. I have been on sites doing research and stuff like that. So I'm a little rugged. I think very much the character in The Mummy, where she is the story.
That woman's a vampire.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
We've had that discussion before. She's beautiful and always will be.
I have really high intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. My dexterity and constitution's pretty good as well. Strength's on the low side. I don't need to be strong more than just to lift this pile of books.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a general idea of how characters. I mean, and it's a lot like most your tabletop RPGs. You know, the character is what you want them to be. You're going to make them how you want to be, base them off of, you know, 2 characters from Constantine. You know, because both Shia LaBeouf and her were in Constantine.
Wasn't there kind of a nerdy librarian in Constantine too? Oh no, I'm thinking
No,
of
you're
what
thinking of
was the
B-Man.
big dude that what's up?
Beeman, the guy who lived underneath at the bowling alley, he was more of the librarian character.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
nerdy guy.
he didn't have a whole lot of strength, right?
No,
And
no.
then they like magically thought that he couldn't drink alcohol, but he was actually drinking
No,
it and drowned
that's the
himself in
priest.
vodka.
That's the exorcist priest.
Oh, I guess I need to go
I was
watch
gonna say, it
Constantine.
sounds like
I can tell you almost any character in that movie. I love that movie. A lot of people were against it because it really did change off the comic book character that it's based off of, but it was a great movie. I don't care what anyone
Yeah,
says.
you're always gonna have that crowd. You're never gonna
Yeah.
make a perfect comic book movie.
Well, and that's where like this, you know, if you're going to try to make a character based off of a comic book creation, like say you want to make kind of like a steampunky Spider-Man, you're just going to piss off the people. But that's you. Do you? I mean,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so and as Shebe kind of yeah, there is so in this alternate universe Earth, there are only 5 continents, and they're different shape than what our normal continents are. And they have been altered due to meteors hitting the Earth, oceans rising, all this. So there is one continent that is a desert that is constantly being buffeted by winds, so that structures have been blown over with sand and new structures have been built over it. So there's going to be a bunch of lore and all that, but those are things we will be dropping as we progress through the building of all of this because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Right now, you guys are in the main continent, which is to compare to real world. This is kind of London, okay? Um, it is a very port city where you guys are. It is on the Crescent Port, and it's called that because there's this huge uh, crescent port built around a giant stone structure, and the water only flows in one way. So shipping has to come in this way. Anyone trying to come the other way, their ships will just be destroyed because the currents will push them back into the rocks farther down. So this city, it is a port city. So as it expands outwards to the city walls, there is housing, and then there's the higher up housing. There are schools, libraries, all that. It is only one city in this giant continent. Um, like I said, we're looking at this to compare it to real world. The times are going to be different because events are different. We're not going to base it off the Roman calendar. But if you were to kind of look at it, you're thinking around 1860s during the Industrial Revolution when steam engines and everything were just going and technology was starting to break away from the grasp of religion. And that's where this is there are areas on this continent that are very held by the whatever religion, and they keep technology down. And those are the areas where you are going to find more ghosts and banshees and things like that. As where these bigger cities, you're going to find a lot more of the werewolves and maybe vampires, zombies, skinwalkers, things like that are attracted more to a city. There'll still be ghosts because ghosts are everywhere. So, like I said, the scenario you guys are going to have in front of you right now, you guys, we're going to skip the whole setting up of how you guys met. We're just going to each scenario. I'm just going to tell you, you already did this part. This is just for the scenario. Okay, so you two have been
My library, quite.
well. You two have been hired due to past jobs, being able to get things done. You have been hired to figure out a string of murders that have been going on. The public records, though, kept by the local magistrate, have been kind of sealed and they're keeping it very hush hush. The only facts that the newspapers are getting are of the actual murders. The murders have all been men, aged between 18 and 50. The only thing is, they're not really finding their bodies, but they're finding like the last place they were around. Maybe there's a smoking pipe that one gentleman had, and there's blood. They've yet to find a corpse. They've yet to find out any connection to these people. You guys were hired to kind of do that. So this would be more of a scenario that is definitely obviously going to be something where you're going to be using a lot of perception, investigations, things like that. But where the scenario where you guys are set up right now, you guys are actually outside of the magistrate office. It is high noon, and you see that there are people walking in and out continuously, running errands, newspaper people, regular people, lawyer type people, politicians. The place is very busy. So this is where the group could sit there and decide with the storyteller, having explained, the full scenario of how, like where the doors are and everything. You guys could decide to go in and try to break into the office now, or this is where you players get to decide what you want to do.
So presumably, since the records have been kind of hush hush, and that would imply that we've been trying to get them, and they've been giving us the runaround kind of a deal.
Yes, not only you, but even like the local newspaper has made it very publicly known that, they're not releasing details. Details are being withheld from the public. And anytime they try to interview the magistrate or anyone in that office, they're shut down instantly. Like, no. So everyone does suspect something is up, but they don't know why or what.
Orlando, why are we here at high noon?
Well, in my experience, the busier a place is, the more you can get away with stuff. Sometimes you gotta stoop to less than legal means to get the information you need to make an intelligent
Splendid.
decision.
We belong here. Going through all of it.
Right. Go walk in like you own the place and nobody will even question it. They got enough stuff to do on their hands.
All right.
If they're
So,
not going to let us have these files, I don't want to start another. I hate to say the word witch hunt, but that's the only thing that's in my brain right now.
all right. So there's a staircase, marble columns leads up to a very this almost looks like a Roman type construction, very government-y building. Uh, you open the doors and there are people bustling around doing work. Um, there are people in line getting permits for things, paying taxes, all that. Right next to the door as you enter is a very, very large human wearing very hard looking armor. You can't tell if it is like a steel or an iron based from where you are, and it definitely has like a leather covering over it. And it does say uh, in the language of this area, security, basically on the tab. You see another one diagonally across from you guarding another set of doors. You see that there are two more guarding an even back door further back.
I'm watching how they interact with people going in and out of these.
Anyone who tries to enter the side door or the door in the back there, they hold up a card that they press to the wall. And if it doesn't beep, then you notice security guy gets into them. There's one lady who she has to tap it a couple times, and finally it acknowledges her, and the door opens and she goes in. Anyone who doesn't present one of those cards, you could see that these guys are ready to
Move.
remove them one way or another.
And this is our first time coming to this site.
Yes, this is the first time you guys have been here.
We hadn't been here to request them before.
No. No, you guys haven't been to this area before. This is a new area, so you've worked other jobs in other
We were
areas.
who were we hired by for this? Was it somebody governmental or was it a private?
For the sake of this story, let's say they've kept their identity rather hush hush, and you've actually been contacted by several hooded individuals trying to keep everything within it.
I'm just wondering if we would have already known this, so we wouldn't have already known that.
No, you would not. Like I said, you guys have not been to the Crescent Port before. You guys are actually from a different area on the continent, but you guys have done enough adventures at this point that, we're fast forwarding in your careers. You guys have already done many quests, many adventures. You're known to do things, so that's why you were hired for this. And again, this is just, we're cutting all that out right
Yeah.
now because, no, I'll explain this. We're cutting that out right now because this is just to kind of show you some of the things that both the players are able to do and the storyteller is going to be able to do. It's going to present, this game isn't always about combat. It isn't always about investigation. You will have to decide how your scenario or your adventure that day is played out. The players dictate it all. The storyteller kind of just gives you guys the knowledge of what it is, and then you guys would have to kind of really decide it. I mean, any lore and stuff, obviously the storyteller will give you any character description, stuff like that, but you guys are the ones who are going to go, okay, there are these doors, there are these guards, it is high noon.
So I'm going to offer Orlando Whisper and it's like try to find somebody that similar to your look. Do we follow them to get there?
Does it look when they leave so somebody goes in, let's say we've been casing this place for a little bit, like when somebody goes into one of the key card doors and comes out, do they give that card back or Is it something they're keeping on their person?
It is something that's kept on their person, and they seem to be very protective of it.
So yeah, what would you? Oh, did you have a character's name? What am I calling
I
you?
don't have a name yet. No name.
Hey, librarian lady.
Yes. Librarian.
Stella.
Um,
Stella the librarian. There you go. I gave you a name. Deal with it.
um, yeah, if we could maybe find a way to separate somebody from their card, we could, like I don't think I'm gonna be able to sweet talk anybody. Hello, camera. Um, we also kind of need to figure out which one of the two doorways we want to get into. Maybe watch. I don't know if people are leaving with files in their hands. That looks like something we'd want to.
Files
Look
of saying
No, that's true. Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't
could
be
be like
taking those.
type of person that's this room and the type of person.
Would it be a horrible mistake to try to go in like a fuck around and find out method and demand to see the files? See if we could, you know, my, I'm not very good with people. I'm kind of a shy kid, but maybe we go in and be like, hey, we're investigating these murders. Let us in so we can get information and just, see what we can get away with.
How much clout predecessor?
He's a pretty well respected guy. He was also not super liked in some circles. He
Right.
was 50-50. Either you thought he was the greatest because he saved your family from a witch, or you thought he was a piece of shit because he killed your mother because everyone said she was a witch. He
I
was
wonder,
totally
could we
polarized.
go in with, hey, we're investigating these murders.
Yeah. Maybe if we go in the I'm the boss, just get out of my way and let me do my job. Maybe somebody will
Let
just
us
roll
in.
over.
All right. Well, at this point, I'm going to stop you guys so we can point this out. All right. So this is something I really want to have in the game, and I'm going to really work towards. And your storyteller will have to work towards this, and it will be in the storyteller's guide, which is like your DM guide. It will really kind of have a whole area on this. Let your players figure out the best course here. So they've got the, kind of be pushy about it. What could happen there? You have the maybe we can steal a card, which could be just kind of pickpocketing in the area. You could follow them back to the house, which means you now would have town adventures, which could lead to other little things being triggered. Or you kind of mentioned that you were casing the place. What do people who case the place usually do?
Blending.
No. You guys are in a very busy place during high noon, and you're casing the joint.
I'm walking around the place. Seeing what people are going in and out of doors.
Sitting in convicts, eating donuts and drinking coffee.
Okay, this again, I would prefer your players to come up with this, but as any DM can tell you that a riddle for a fifth grader can stump most D&D players. So
Yeah, but if we were casing it, we're trying to make note of what um what common stuff is happening. So like if like Sella said, if the same noble people are walking this doors, obviously going to get official material, we'd make note that that door seems to be where all the influentials go, whereas this door is mostly, you know, the workers
Paralegals.
or yeah,
okay, so
trying to
yeah,
figure out
so casing
what's
the
the
joint,
common flow.
taking notes. One thing that one thing that's always bothered me with D&D and some other tabletop games is when you do have a situation like this, it's always high noon. Okay, you guys are casing a joint. When someone cases a joint, and they see that there are guards during the day at this time, and they're there, and they're there, and their windows are here. They wait until nighttime and come back in to see if there's guards. Even if the building's locked, maybe there's a way to come in at night. And that's one thing I really want the people to be able to do in this game is go, okay, hey, we're going to go take a short rest, or we're going to go to the library and pull up info towards this case while we wait for it to get dark to come back in. So that, when you are playing this, it isn't just a, hey, we are at the library for 2 hours. We're at this building for 2 hours, but it never really seems like time does anything. Players will actually move time by their decisions. If you guys decide, hey, let's go run to the shop, let's pick up some lockpick and kick and some rope, let's go buy the stuff we need, wait until it's dark, and then come back and try to break in. Maybe there'll be less guards. Maybe we can sneak past those doors, you know? So that's something that I'm hoping that players and storytellers are going to be able to really do. And it will be a big part of it will be time progression and expanding upon just what's in front of you. Okay, just because, yeah, your guys' ideas, we need to get these files, we need to try to figure out what's going on. There's this whole other world moving around right now that you guys could also maybe find other info from other ways. They have been finding body or blood stains. And like I said, there's a pipe that they found. Where's that pipe? Where was this blood? Maybe you can go investigate that during the day, come back and rob this place. So we will go though, just for this year. Like I said, combat is not going to be the only option. Okay, D&D, it seems like all the time combat is the option. Very rarely do my players and a lot of DM's players realize, no, not the murder hobos, but you don't realize that you should run the fuck away from a problem. Okay. Everybody is always too, hey, I'm just going to go rage and bashes. Okay. When sometimes the idea of doing something else is the better option. And that's something that this game will focus on too, is that don't always think that combat's the best option. You guys have not been issued any weapons yet because I'm working on combining medieval weaponry that would still be around in this era with steampunk weaponry and some basic, more what was modern at that time weaponry that wasn't steampunk. And I've already explained to you, there will be guns. There is magic in the world, but humans are separated from it. So technology is your magic in a way. So you may have a stun gun. So maybe sneaking into the building at night, you could be like, I'm going to stealth up behind this guard and zap him with my taser and try to knock him unconscious. Those are going to be things that I'm going to allow my players to do. So for this, let's say it is now nighttime and you guys are going to try to sneak into the building. Um, no, this isn't a fully fleshed out campaign. I picked out one scenario, but I'm showcasing 5 or 6. Well, it was supposed to be 5 or 6, but unfortunately, Big Rob's character was your muscle. Okay, he picked the brawling character, so it really does take a lot of the physical combat out that I wanted to show today. But I can show you guys some of the other, like the stealth combat. I can show you guys stealth in general, and I can show you guys the skill system that I've repetitively have told these two about. And you're going to get it to right now. The front doors are locked. How are you going to get in?
Well, in our adventures during the day, still key card.
No,
Our adventures in what did we learn at the library?
none of that's relevant right now. Not for this scenario, because you guys aren't going to solve this. There is no answer. I'll tell you right now. There is no conclusion to this mystery. It's just little key things to show
Right,
you.
but I'm saying it's like it would have did we see blueprints
No,
for this?
no, there's none of that. Okay, ignore that. You're thinking along the right path, but I'm saying for this here right now, you guys are at the door. It's locked. You've noticed that the windows you weren't able to get in. The front door is the only door you've seen. How do you wish to proceed with that?
So Orlando's got a little bit of experience casing things out before his witch hunter master would come into play. So he's pretty good at trying to figure out if stuff is safe to enter. So he'd spend some time using his investigation skill to kind of listen at the door, see if he hears any like patrolling guards, maybe check the lock and see if it's something easily coerced open.
Okay. So, in order to lockpick, you would have to have what we call right now. Can I have that character sheet real
I
quick?
don't. I
No, I don't have one with because our printer's dead. So no, the one with the little dots on it. Yeah, that one.
remember mine didn't print.
I know. I'm going to compare it. So for kind of peeking out and seeing, if there is a guard, you would kind of be looking over the windows, or that would be an investigation roll. If you do not have skill in investigation, you're not going to be able to roll for that. Same as if you don't have, oh, excuse me, at the moment, what we are calling stealth. If you don't have stealth skills, you're not going to be able to lockpick. That will be changed later. Actually, it is. It's larceny. I actually already have it as larceny. So if you don't have larceny skills, you will not be able to lockpick the door. So you're going to think of it. That is something that we are definitely sticking with. Is unlike D&D where it's like, oh, my character is going to try to pick this lock. Do you have any skills in sleight of hand? No, but I can use my dexterity. No, you can't. You have to have trained for this because it is just like the real world. Az would not try to remove D's appendix. He's not trained in it. At this moment, I don't think Az knows what an appendix is.
Yeah, no, not until he burst.
Yeah. So, but Az could remove a starter from a car and put a new one in because Az has that experience, that training in real life. So, and that's how it's going to be is you're going to, like I said, you are playing humans, and those humans are going to be limited to what skills they have. There is no class abilities like, oh, I'm a warlock, I'm a fighter. No, I'm a human who's good at fighting, but I'm also handy with making food. I love to cook. So you kind of have a chef fighter character who's able to do that, which would allow you guys maybe to use that as a way to get something for whatever a mission is. So these are all the things. So in this case, do you have anything with larceny or investigation?
I have investigation.
Okay, so you would be able to investigate. So the way it's going to work is, what is your plus on your investigation?
Um,
Yours is a +3.
+2.
+2. Okay, so you will roll a d20.
5.
And then you would add your +2, so a 7. The storyteller will have basically the CR for it, what you have to beat. And in this case, investigating, there are enough big windows that you can kind of see through, kind of peeking. So it would be you'd be really easy to look into the big room. And you would see that, yeah, there is only one guard now at night. That guard is sitting at a desk, half bored out of his skull. There are no other lights but a small lamp that he has sitting there, and it's kind of one of those old grip lamps that you would carry around with you. So it's only lighting up a small enough area that you can kind of highlight him. But he's just kind of sitting there. You're literally about ready to fall asleep. He's a night guardsman. He doesn't even seem as big and strong as the other ones. He's definitely not wearing the same armor as the other ones. So you could easily, once you got in there, if you had to deal with them, you feel relevant that you'd be able to. You just now have to figure out how you guys would get in. So,
And I'll convey that information to Stella and be like, "Oh, this is a very good idea to wait this one out. I obviously don't care about nighttime infiltration at all. We can just figure out a way to get into this damn thing."
I don't have arson. I don't know how.
Yeah, I'd never got shown how to do that. We basically just kick down doors or set them on fire. I don't think we should do that here.
The door was open. We've tried the door.
you haven't tried it yet.
I'm gonna try the door.
Okay, so now this is actually where there is something that is special that I've thought about for situations where you don't know where something is, be it a locked door, be it will this thing explode? Will this drink kill me? Whoever's trying it rolls a percentage dice.
One or both of them?
It's a flat. I'm not going to do like 5, so it's just a percentage.
100.
100%. That is
Damn.
the door is unlocked. The door is unlocked. The guard just didn't lock it. He's that weak. Now, if that had rolled the other way, okay, it could have been locked. It could have been unlocked but triggered an alarm when you open it because he did turn the alarm on, but he didn't.
I was just checking.
No. I'm just saying this. It unlocked, but even though you're trying to just jiggle it and slowly check it, you pushed it open. The door just swings open, sets off an alarm. That is how, instead of like, there are no critical fails or critical successes on your D20 rolls, except for combat. Combat is the only time you will get a bonus for a critical fail or a critical success. Doing certain things that are going to require the percentage dice, though, may give you, in this case, 100%. Yes, the door it's unlocked and it opens very quietly. You would be able to slip right through there. Luck is on your side.
Double pitch hard.
Calm down. We got to get into this thing and try to find a way to one of those doors. And then
So our day, we didn't get somebody's key card. They put their purse on the back of a chair,
right.
gone over and nicked it out of their purse.
No, because you guys, this is actually as far as you were going, is how you got into the building on this scenario.
We made it!
That was just
All right.
showcase, basically, invest how you're going to use your skills and how certain activities are going to be adjusted by the D20 system or a percentage luck system. And I wanted to go with that kind of system because, like I said, I don't want you to have, I rolled a nat 20 on a lock picking. That lock just magically opens up. It has an orgasm. You're excited. Okay, that's how great that lock is. No, there are no critical successes or failures to doing skill-based activities. Only thing that there will be a critical positive or negative will be in fighting. And they can be something as if you roll a nat 1 and you're shooting a gun, the gun could blow up in your hand, causing damage to you.
I have no fingers.
It depends on how I feel as a storyteller that day.
Percentage side.
Yeah, exactly.
So for skill, like for non-combat percentage die, that would be for unskilled rolls. So like I had investigation, so I got a D20. But if you're just trying to see what a door does and we don't have larceny, that's where the percentage die came in? Or?
Well, no, she was just doing a check to see if the door was open. So it's going to be activity kind of based. Like, hey, I want to, I'm going to open these books and try to see if there's a lever behind them. Okay, I'm going to roll, instead of having you roll D20 for every book to see if there's a lever behind it, just roll a flat 100 and
How lucky are you?
how lucky are you? Luck.
Hopefully streamline, some of the non-combat times instead of.
It does. It will make it faster, but it also, again, like I said, I'm trying to make this game almost feel real life-ish as we're playing it. While you're in a fantasy world, how much do you rely on luck every day? You pop that chip in your mouth or whatever you're munching on. Did you just chip a tooth? No, you rolled successfully and didn't chip your damn tooth. Yay!
Yeah.
So
Oh, without choking to death.
I didn't shit my pants this morning. Yay! So I want to put that kind of feeling into it that, sometimes the world treats you good and sometimes it fucks you in the ass. So that's where the doing things sometimes will call for a percentage dice. Not all the time. If it is, in some situations where it's like, hey, I want to see if this door's unlocked, you might be, yeah, it's unlocked. You don't even have to roll for it. You don't have to worry about the percentage. But in this case, since there was a guard, there could have been some consequences that could have happened. Like I said, if the door was a fast opening door and there was one of those little dingly bells on top, it would have set that off,
And
So
would you ever get negative or
don't dish!
positive
They don't
bonuses to the
dish!
percentage roll? So like in the example of me chipping a tooth eating something, like I know that cashews are not normally designed to chip teeth because I have experience with them or
that's where the traits are actually going to come in. The traits
okay.
are going to tie to it because one of the traits, and I specifically, I want to put this out there before I say this. Az is not an alcoholic, guys.
Yeah.
He plays an alcoholic a lot on
I sold it
our
really well on my last
yes.
character. It's just
His characters are alcoholic, and Tercel's not gone. We will be coming back to you guys' D&D, but
yeah.
Az himself is not an alcoholic. But I thought of this because of your character. One of the traits is alcoholism and how it would affect that would be a negative trait. So in that case, you need so much alcohol. Yeah, so you don't have the shakes. You could have a high larceny skill, but you will have a negative on every roll because of alcoholism, unless you've
Right.
drank alcohol that day. Yeah, see, so there are going to be things that do affect your percentage dice and your regular rolls, and that is what the trait system is going to be. That's why I said every character is going to start out with 2 positive traits and 1 negative trait. As you go, though, you can add more positives and more negative traits when you level up.
Like
And
things that has happened to you during your time.
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is
Also,
it won't only be when you
add-
level up that you will add traits, but if let's say you have been to many very gory murder scenes, you can either become hardened to blood or you can become very weirded out by blood because you've been surrounded. It's like a PTSD or warrior sense.
Kind of reminds me of RimWorld. RimWorld does that where you kind of get traits based off of experience in the game. So like you were saying, if I've seen some gruesome nasty shit, I've become desensitized to it, so I don't have
Exactly.
negative reactions to
And
whatever.
that's actually it's also something they do in the most of the World of Darkness games, like Vampire the Masquerade. You gain these traits; they're added on as experiences happen. And so, if you guys were playing this game for like 5, 10 years, first off, I'll love you if you do. But you could have a character if that character survived 5, 10 years of you playing, that character could be completely numb to blood, violence, gore, because they've been around shapeshifters, skin crawlers, all that stuff. So to them, it's just natural. They've been around corruption of humanity enough that they're not shocked when the bad guy pops out. They don't get shook by the scene of walking into a house and there are corpses tied to a chair and their throats have all been slit. They're like, yeah, I've been here before. As where another character who hasn't will have to Constitution throw to see if you don't vomit all over the place.
Yeah,
no longer can sleep through the night because of the night terrors.
Yeah.
So then you've got a negative to your health.
So
we're not all superheroes that are immune to psychology.
exactly, because again, this game is about being human in an inhuman world, basically.
That could be like some part of the name.
Well, right now, since we haven't really said it, I'm code naming. No, No, that's already a game. I'm code naming this. It is Project Echo is the code name. So whenever you see a post about Project Echo, until we come up with the name, that may even be a crowdfunding goal, is if we reach a certain mark, whoever's the highest donor at that mark, you get to name the game. Maybe. Not set in stone yet, so don't quote me on that.
It's gonna
But
be way more than $1 though. You're gonna have to put some serious.
oh
money down.
yes. I do have one crowdfunding goal that I've already thought of. It will be a copy of the DM's book, autographed by me, autographed by Sheve, by Az, by Rob, by all the playtesters who do get with us. I will take the book around when we go to the convention and stuff, and I will have you guys all sign it. And we will also include, we'll probably be done at like Big River or something where we get a bunch of us together, a group photo of all of us, the people who are making this game, basically. Because while I'm the one who's doing like all the main thinking, the reason I got all these guys to help me is not just to play test it, but it's I want gamers' input. And I want to give you guys that credit. And hey, if I make $1 million and I become the next Elon Musk without being an asshole, I'm taking you all out for tacos.
Well, and it's pretty smart because between Rob, myself, and Shay, like we all have different ways of playing this game. Like
Hmm.
Rob, obviously playing on a totally different level than
Well,
me,
I
than
mean,
Shay or I.
that's
But
too. It's like what experiences I've had with different play styles, what experiences I've had with other DMs. He's been my only DM, except for Rob when I was, no, I wasn't even 16, 14.
mhm.
So like that was way back when I first got started. But mainly he's been my only DM. Steven was for
Steven did well, yeah, we did it
about 6 months to a year.
no, it wasn't even that much. It was about 8 weeks.
With other DMs. Rob, obviously, he's had experience with other DMs. He's had experience with multiple games
Right.
and multiple types of players.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is why I am doing this. I don't want to do like the focus groups I've seen them do at Gen Con and at other conventions where they just grab someone who's never really played a game and throw them in there and then try to get their input as, oh, this is how your game should be made. No. I've got people from very little experience. Some of our children who play D&D with us, to people like me and Rob who both have I can't even count how many hundreds of years of DM storytelling experience. I'm talking combined. We probably hit the hundreds, but and it's not just D&D. I have played Vampire. I've read about a million other tabletop games that I've always wanted to play. It's just never getting enough people to play them. So
Pathfinder looks like.
Pathfinder is basically D&D 3.5, which is my favorite thing. So, but yeah, so that's the basic. Like I said, without Big Rob here, we can't really go into the main combat because I really wanted to show the strength feature. Well, no, and that's just it. That's why I wanted to show strength versus non-strength characters in a battle and how you guys would actually have to think about it. And that actually comes about thanks to one of her children. Um, I want my players to recognize that they're human and they're weak and fleshy and squishy. Okay? You're not going to go up toe to toe with a werewolf if you are a squishy librarian. Okay? You're going to get your ass handed to you twice.
Plus, I've got a silver gun, got a silver
Well,
bullet
that's
gun.
just it. That's where knowledge and practice will come into it. Is that you could have that, but that would be going into the whole. Did you guys investigate enough to realize that this is a creature affected by silver, or are you just breaking in the door trying to kill this monster? Realize it's a werewolf, and next thing you know, you're all writing 3 new character sheets. So, and I have 3 new NPC werewolves. So. But yes, so that is the beginning of Project Echo. We will be doing more playtests over this whole year. Like I said, the goal is probably early December for the actual website, the crowdfunding to start, um, and then hopefully by next December 2026, we will be releasing the product. I'm hoping. So, for those of you who think that, oh, making a game is easy, no, it's not. Because I'm already a year and a half into this solo, and I have so many broken versions of this game in my head now. So
Well, not only that, but every little bit of input
it's going to change
is
and
going to
affect things.
it could. It doesn't always. And I don't like your idea, but
Oh no, I'm looking at both positive and negative critiques of things. Let me know. That is one thing. When we do these streams, not only will my players have this option, but anyone who is watching it, you can go to the Discord, and it's not set up today, but it will be for the next one. There will be a Project Echo tab on the Discord. You can go on there and be like, "Hey, this concept sounds really good. Please expand on it." Or, "Yeah, you know what? That sounds stupid." If I listen to your idea, I will also give you credit in the final product under the thanks for helping us make a better game. Like I said, right now, the main play testers, Big Rob, as Achebe, you guys will get tacos when the book sells.
I like tacos.
I like tacos.
Officials can read us.
No Ritas, just tacos. I'm not buying margaritas. I'll buy beer. Beer's cheap. So
Homemade read. How's that? That's cheaper.
yeah. So that was the small just kind of showing you guys what we are working on for this game. More info will be coming. Keep up on the Facebook, the Discord. I'm going to be making a Facebook page just for it eventually. I'll be making a Blueski and Twitter page just for this game. It's a lot of work and my head hurts. So we should be getting back though to some D&D here soon. That's another thing on top of it is, on top of writing this game and all that, I'm also still writing the D&D campaign. I've written out most of the vampire campaign. I have two other games that I've talked to my players about doing, Hunter of the Reckoning and Undead. Got scenarios and stuff set up for those. So there's all these plans for us to do some cool stuff here. We're going to have various guests all year, obviously. The Rocketeer Society, we may be doing something with them even one day soon. Then hopefully we will have the D back here soon because we miss her face.
Trying to get a Chihuahua for camera, but he was not participating.
Aw. Here, since we didn't get a Chihuahua, I will give you a row of sleepy
Oh no,
kitties.
he's already returned to check on D. So. Oh.
Okay, just
That is Bruce Cat.
Bruce Wayne, Batman.
But yes, thank you everybody for the stopping. The stream wasn't going to be long today.
Kansas City for the Kansas City Comic Con. We'll be there.
Yes, that is March 21st, the weekend of March 21st. So make sure, if you're going to be at the Kansas City Comic Con and you see the zombie or Shebe, stop by, say hi. We'll take pictures with you. All of that. I'm excited. Christina Ricci is going to be there.
She's on his list.
She's always been
The
on.
list.
She's been on my list since I was like 13.
I think
You know what the list is from Ed?
I have a pretty sneaking suspicion based off of the one person I know on that list now.
That list is actually really short. Christina Ricci's pretty much there. Nicole Kidman's
Well,
the
she's
other
pretty
one.
short too, right? Like.
Hey, what can I say? I like short women.
But
You can't say much either, sir.
No, I have no ground to stand on.
Huh?
She's pretty
Nicole
super
Kidman.
tall.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman is very tall.
And then you liked the act or the singer Tiffany.
Yeah, but that's just my redhead thing.
What
She
about
was
Rachel?
on your list as
Is
well.
Rachel Weisz? Is she tall? Oh,
I think she's 5'6". I don't have my cell phone next to me, or I'd look it up. Oh, wait a minute. It's in my back pocket. I'll look.
She is exactly 5'6". That's not creepy at all. She's married to Daniel Craig? Never
Yep.
mind, you got no chance.
Nope.
No chance at all.
I got a better chance with Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say we went to the Casey Comic Con last year or 2 years ago, and Deidre got to meet Cassandra Peterson. and she was just a delight. But the Comic Con itself was is really well organized. It was huge, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they were saying
yeah,
5 football fields or something.
yeah, it's massive. So I definitely consider bringing something for rests and whatnot. You'll be on your feet a lot.
Oh yeah, we'll have my wheelchair packed.
Excited. Big cons like these.
Yeah.
Remember there.
See, one of the other guests this year is David Tennant,
Ooh, nice.
the Doctor. So we get to meet him. Christopher Lloyd's there.
Bobby Singer.
Yes.
AKA
Jim
Don't
Beaver.
blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead.
Dead.
They are fast, faster than you could believe. Don't turn your back. Don't look away and don't blink.
A mixture of entertainers, and then like there's a large influx of professional wrestlers, like
That's
older ones usually.
That's at our Planet Funko this year.
Yeah,
It's that way. But
like that the year I went there, they had like Sergeant Slaughter and like all these old guys that I'm like, that's who I watch. Like, y'all are tapping the right market right now. Like,
who played Don't Blink, by the way?
Would have been Ran.
Oh, nice. Nice. Thank you, my friend. This is one of my favorite sound cues that I have.
And,
The actress who plays River Song is also going to be there. Yeah.
the guy that played Trickster on Supernatural.
Gabriel. Yep.
I'd like to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of good actors this year at it. It's expensive to go see a lot of them, though. So,
Well, we can see them.
yeah.
We can stand in the lines. Go see them. We
Yes.
don't have to pay for an autograph or a picture.
I want a picture of me and David Tennant, though.
oh, there's quite a few people that are gonna be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Well,
I was like, I
Katie
kept
Sackhoff,
seeing
Matthew Lillard.
different,
yeah, Matthew Lillard. That's one I was thinking of, too.
but I kept seeing all the different people on my Facebook keep popping up, and I'm like, okay, fine.
As it's like,
Right.
God, as it's like, fuck, now I gotta make plans for March.
I think Dieter had already planned on going, so
Oh.
that just means I'll be joining her. So
Oh, if you guys are going, we will meet up then.
yeah, we'll probably do a day trip. I don't think we'll stay there, but
Well, it's a 6-hour drive for us, so we're gonna get there Friday night, spend the
Yes,
night,
exactly.
and then go Saturday, and then just drive home Saturday night. So,
well, and depending on how you go home, there's quite a few Waffle Houses on the way. So
I don't know. Well, you need to let me know if you are going to that because I have that bottle of mead for you.
oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
hell, I'm definitely going.
Well, if not, I was gonna bring it
Fuck yeah.
down. I was gonna bring it down at Brick River. So,
Yeah,
it is
sounds
ready to
decent.
drink. Like the mead is ready to drink. It's already been a year since I said it. But if you let it go like longer, it's just gonna get more potent. And I'll tell you, half a glass of that fucked me up. And I don't drink a lot, so but
Right, that's
it
kind of where I'm at.
it was a good drink. It is a dry mead. I didn't make a sweet one this time. My next one is going to be I'm thinking strawberry honey mead. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with strawberry for the next one. And then I'm gonna make some Skyrim mead, some juniper berry. All right, well, we are going to raid out. Again, I thank you all for coming for this announcement. Like I said, it wasn't too special because it's still in the very, very early access phase. We are going to be working on things. I do know that when the game does finally get released, it'll be 3 books. That's all you will need to play the game is these 3 books. And basically it's your storyteller's guide, your player's guide, and the monster guide. Okay. Those are all you're going to need because everything's there. You don't even need a grid paper. This is meant to be played the way we played D&D as kids, which was with like a penny as your token if you had that, and drawing things out on paper. Not saying you can't use minis and 3D textures and all that stuff. We probably will when we are playing it, but it is not one of those games where it's like, oh, you need to have this graph and you need to have this and this. No. Have your dice, have the core books that you need, have a notebook. There you go. I want this game to be simple with some complexities that make it fun to be a human character. So, all right. I'm pretty sure he's on, but let me go double check real quick. No, Axiomat, because he is doing a test.
My dice stream.
I don't know. I will be right back.
Yeah, let us know if you're gonna be there when we have or be there.
Yeah, I'll
Saturday.
talk to Deidre about it today. I'm sure she's 100% down if she wasn't already planning on going. So
Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah, we'll raid over to Axiomat real quick, and then we can talk about con stuff when we're done with that. So we'll be right back. I'm gonna put us.
bye, Hemi.
I gotta do that in the other room. Ah.
And I'm probably gonna butcher your name. It's Ranthagcord. Ran Hothcord. Ran Hothcord. Thanks for stopping in.
yeah,
Appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Someday. Sending me working.
uh,
Can this be changed? Yeah, Friday night. Get a phone call. Do we have a budget for the capital campaign? Like, no, that was something Stephanie was supposed to work on. She never did. Fired. I didn't. You guys haven't hired anybody. Like, sorry.
mm-hmm.
So, real quickly, Friday night, put something together that was our budget.
Well, stick to your guns. Don't let them take away your weekend.
I need to have this tonight. Guess you should have figured that out last week.